somewhere in the background, Bob Marley sings.
That sounds accurate.
If we were big, we could have just totally thrown that in there too.
But we're small.
Yeah, eventually we'll be to the point where we can make a Bob Marley reference and pay for the music.
Yeah.
When I was the ripe young age of 15, many a moon ago, I lived in La Jolla, California. There I had a girlfriend named Eve. One evening while her parents were at work,
One evening. Got it?
It was one afternoon. Did I say evening?
You did.
That's weird.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. One afternoon while her parents were at work, I stopped by with 2 joints to have a little bit of fun. Scott, what kind of story? This is not a Disney story.
You're right.
We smoked one of the joints and enjoyed our time until she became paranoid that her parents would suddenly return home catching us. Her parents would not approve of their 15-year-old daughter being alone with a male in the house, much less one with some weed.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, it's when you become a parent, the things you have to worry about. So with the most pleasant buzz, home I headed.
You gotta say this with like a surfer. Yeah, with the most pleasant buzz. Oh.
I came from the desert. I wish I could speak.
It's just bro talk.
Yeah.
Just pretend like you're Keanu Reeves and that you'll be able to pull it off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. With the most pleasant bud.
Hey, it works. It works.
Home I headed, 5 or so blocks away. Upon reaching my house, since my first...
My folks? Where are my folks?
Yeah. Oh, upon reaching my house, since my folks...
My folks.
When you guys hear those words, you're just going to think I'm an idiot.
Yeah. The word is folks. Folks.
Folks.
There you go.
Just pretend it has a V and it's German. Volks.
You like making everything German, dude. No wonder people think we're weird conspiracy people.
Yeah. 9.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So it's... Oh, no, that's way... I just traveled in time. Reference earlier episode. Nope. Upon reaching my house, since my folks weren't home, I reached into my front pocket to partake of the remaining joint. It was not there. I scoured that pocket. No joint. In my as yet still smoke-imbued state, it nevertheless crashed into my head that I had lost the joint at Eve's.
Dun, dun, dun.
Lord, if her parents found it, she would never be seen or heard from again.
Classic.
Because they were fundamentalist.
Because they would smoke it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, with a name like Eve, there's a couple, they're either hippies or zealots.
Do you think this guy's name was Adam?
Yeah.
Classic stuff.
No, the dad's name was probably something boring like
Frank.
Michael. No, Frank isn't a religious name.
It could be.
Let me be frank with you. I called Eve and told her the joint was missing. In a panicked voice, she told me she would begin searching, but I should retrace my steps. Maybe I dropped it on the way home. Her suggestion seemed reasonable, so I set about to retrace my steps. It was only reasonable because he was high.
He's like, reasonable suggestion, my dear. I will retrace my steps.
Staring intently at the ground, forgetting often what I'm looking for. I was perhaps a half a block from her house when I saw it. There in the gutter was the missing joint. I gleefully picked it up and placed it securely in my pocket. Instead of walking all the way home and calling Eve, I thought since she was half a block away, I'd stop by Eve's and say hello. If her parents were there, I would find a way to let her know all was well. I knocked politely. Eve's mom answered the door. She did so with that reserved graciousness adults have to young I was still impressed with graciousness.
Yeah.
She did so with that reserved graciousness adults have for the young men who are likely banging their daughters. Wow. She called Eve, who approached me with a pleasant smile. Eve followed me outside and took my hand. In it, she surreptitiously deposited a joint. My brain did a stuttering two-step. Luckily, I did not blurt out anything that might have incriminated us. Even I spoke of other things, and I departed with genuine wonder, piercing the smoke wisp still lingering in my brain. Kudos for the poetic language.
Yeah, this is one of those creative writer stoners.
Yeah. At home, I looked closely at the 2 joints. One was slightly yellowed and slightly dimpled, as though it may have been exposed to dew. It dawned on me that I had gone searching for one joint and had found another. It felt as though the gods had heard my pleas and answered, "You want a joint that badly? Have a joint." My sense of La Jolla shifted. It became the city paved with weed. As I toked upon my gift joint, It would not have been right to delay smoking it. I agree. A most profound thought hit me. Amen. I still had another joint.
Oh, yeah. What's even worse is that gift joint that he found was probably caked with like mold.
Yeah.
It's like dewy and just the inside. He doesn't open it up or anything. It's just moldy.
You know, it could have been like a whole like skit from Friday where,
True that.
what is it? What's Chris Tucker's name in that show?
I don't know. It's been too many years since I've seen Friday.
Remember when he got the joint with the angel dust in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was hanging out with all the Mexican gang members in the area. I'm sorry. You don't smoke joints you find on the street, people.
And if you do, may it be harmonious.
Yeah. Make sure you write your name down and put it in your pocket because you never know. PSA, don't smoke joints that you find in the street.
Why would you put it in your pocket then? Are you just keep it?
No,
just gonna
man.
frame it or something at home?
No, man, that might be how you get demons. You ever think of that?
I didn't.
If you were a demon, you're like, all these parents are always telling their kids to stay off drugs or they're going to go to hell. Let's test this out. So they would just go around throwing random drugs, and then they got like spells in them. So when somebody smokes this random street joint, they're possessed.
That street joint.
Coincidence? I think not.
Well, we didn't get a follow-up story from our guy Lobito, so who knows?
Yeah,
who's really to say? But that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
the odds of like finding in like that few blocks, finding a joint.
I would imagine for people smoking joints, that would be a rare occurrence.
Yeah. I can't. Any of my stoner friends, I'm not going to dox any of them, but any of them.
Do you just find random joints?
Yeah.
I mean, the joint god seems like would be a pleasant fellow, so that joint god might just be throwing stuff all over the place for you.
Yeah.
Have another.
Yeah. Another one. No, it's DJ Khaled the whole time. Yeah. I can't imagine just find weed. That's something that almost never happens, right? Or if you do, it's a great deal of weed and someone's going to murder you because you stole it.
I remember hearing a story about somebody that went to Costa Rica and got a bunch of weed, but then they like were leaving and they're like, what the hell do I do? Pass it on, man. So they just left it somewhere where somebody would find it.
Yeah.
Little bag of weed.
Yeah, I heard similar stories about people that went to Jamaica. So yeah, that checks out.
Yeah,
checks out for sure. We don't we don't condone that ever. It's not okay, folks. The Lord is watching.
Yep.
Anyway, this next one comes to us from it's JXF, but I don't know if he pronounces that. And it is entitled "Roadside Assistance." I had a very close friend in elementary intermediate school named Evan. We hung out a lot. You were going to say something about Evan?
No, elementary intermediate. It's like,
I think it's in the UK, man, it's called intermediate school.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're like,
which is weird because they say elementary all the fucking time if you're Sherlock Holmes.
We think they say elementary all the time.
Oh, that's how we write them.
We only know, us Americans are, Sherlock Holmes is as civilized as we get. And they know it.
Indeed.
That's why when they made the Robert Downey Jr. version, they made him like a brawler because they're like, man, he's too English.
We need to Americanize this man.
Yeah.
Fight. Yeah, it checks out. We hung out a lot, made a lot of jokes, teased girls, and played video games, as you do when you're in elementary intermediate school.
Yes.
But our favorite activity was watching episodes of The Simpsons, while Evan's mom made us some seriously awesome snacks. One day in winter, near the beginning of the winter-spring semester, his parents decided that they were going to upend their roots and leave to care for their ailing grandparents, who were still in Venezuela.
Really quick.
Yes.
If you have a friend whose parents make epic snacks, they're stoners.
Yeah. And also introduce us, because I don't think I ever actually, you know what? Maybe I had one growing up, but it was only during the holidays. It wasn't like all the time.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. Heather's parents apparently make epic snacks all the time. So let's bring Heather back into the fold. Heather, if you're out there, come sit in and bring us some good snacks. Not that shit you tried bringing one time. What was it, like kale chips and
like
fucking
dirt mixed in with the grains.
Yeah, we're like, this isn't food.
It'll clean you out as it goes through.
Yeah, this is what you feed wildlife.
The sand will scrape the insides of your intestines.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Thanks again, Heather, for those granola bars. Anyway, let's get back in. We didn't have much time to hang out, but one of the last things we did together was catch the Simpsons episode where Bart is accused of fraud in Australia. We laughed. you.